Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Bozmos2, where we are playing Chaco. It is turn 52. Let's jump into things. Alright, we have a message from host. Tortuga had an unexplainable increase of wealth, 600 gold. Cheaters! Who the fuck knows? There's a bunch of little bugs that have been happening with this game, so what the fuck ever. I haven't been reading the chat in the last day or so, so I have no idea if this has been discussed, and if so, I assume it has been discussed. Typically, you know, a game this big, people start discussing this type of stuff, and I'm assuming it was just a whatever. Who the fuck knows? I didn't get added, right? Like, I didn't get the Bozmos2 player, you know, to say, hey, this person's been kicked from the game, so I'm assuming it's whatever. It's probably nothing. Anyways, Enchantment 6 has been finished. Nice, nice. That's good. We get some stuff. Very, very excited. We'll go over that more later. The Throne of Life has been claimed, and the Outer Throne has been claimed. Let's check those real quick, because we know I will forget later. Throne of Life, claimed by Lemuria, and really increases growth. Spreads dominion, gives growth +1, and gives 3 nature gems. Neat. And then the Outer Throne has been claimed by Tortuga, +2 dominion, +1 magic, and +3 astral pearls per turn. Sweet. Pretty cool. Okay, we got some site searching. We've got Apsu found nothing. Haruspex found a Grove of Fertility. That's just the simple +1 nature gem. Not even the +1 nature gem and plus like 50 supplies or anything. Just the +1 nature gem. Augury found nothing. Apsu found nothing. Gnome Lore found nothing. Haruspex found nothing. Dark Knowledge found nothing. Augury found nothing. Apsu found nothing. Auspex found nothing. Really shit. Like last turn, we only got one, but it was like a twofer. This turn, we got one, and it was garbage. And we didn't do anything with our manual site searches either. Of course, another profit from Malay. I wonder how many... Is this actually 23? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Very cool, very cool. And then we've got a couple of battles, and we can see one is a battle at Old Man. What's going to happen? All right, we'll watch the battle in Pastinia first. So if we remember last time, there was a pretty massive Lunken army here. But it seems to have disappeared. So this looks like it's just a whole bunch of Kangob soldiers, right? Or just Kangobs. There's actually quite a few people mixed in here. We can see these guys who have like little fire fists. These are Kangob crazies, and they are fire mages, right? And they each have... I guess they don't each have, but many of them have either Fire 2, or if they don't, they have a personal gem with which to cast, like Phoenix Pyre, I believe. And then we've got some Kangob Shamans in here, a bunch of them. They're the blue-haired ones. Then we've got some of just the red-staffed ones, which are red or fire shamans. So I will say this, I really like the identifying markers differentiating the different Kangob units. It's really cool, honestly. It's really neat. I like it a lot. So there's actually quite a lot of mage support in this. There's not a lot of big scary units, but there's quite a lot of mage support in here. And of course, I think we're not going to see a whole lot because, you know, up against nothing, but we do see that all of the fire ones, Phoenix Power, right? We get a lot of... And that's it. Never mind. That's it. That's all we got. Shit. So that's a stack of about 400. Pretty good. We've got a battle in Old Man. And this is... Oh, no. This is quite a big army. Okay. Quite a big army against all of, or I think most of Old Man's forces. Oof. And this army has some backing, obviously, of course. We've got the Drakengard, we've got all the Kangob soldiers, and regular Kangobs and Kangob hunters. We've got the Raiders, Got a fair amount of Blackhawks in here. It's kind of whatever. And then, last but not least, we've got these new ones. We haven't seen these before. These bad boys. These fucking kick-ass bad boys. I feel like I'm doing like a nation overview. I need to do, you know what? I don't know if Boz has done a nation overview of Kangobia. I think, actually, didn't Lucid do one? I don't know. Someone needs to do a nation overview of Kangobia, because this fucking, the nation is nutty from a balance perspective, but aside from it being nutty from a balance perspective, it's really cool from a unit perspective. It's really cool from, like I was saying, right? It's really neat that, you know, they have these Kangob shamans that you can differentiate which ones are which by the blue hair or the red staff, right? And then you can just see these glowing fists in the... Is this another type? I don't think so. No, see, this is the Dragon Speakers. The Dragon Speakers have green hair. And that's just cool. You can just, like, look and be like, oh, look at all this. There's some Kangob Air Shamans. There's some Kangob Fire Shamans. There's some Crazies. There's a Dragon Speaker. You know, it's really neat. Not all nations have that, right? You'll have, hey, this is my Battle Mage that I'm going to produce 100 of, but it gets randoms, right? You know what? Actually, I don't know if it's randoms. We should check that after the battle. We'll check that after the battle. Maybe it's not randoms. Maybe that's the reason why he's able to differentiate on the art, right? Because I would imagine it would actually be really difficult to do with randoms. I'm betting it's not randoms. Anyways, but I got sidetracked. We got these cool freaking Stegosauruses. Look at these badasses, right? They are fire dracons. Chunky boys. Very, very strong. Otherwise, meh statistics, right? Decent natural protection. Very cool. They are sacred. Oof. There's a lot of sacred shit in this fucking nation. And they have a bite. 0 length. Decently high damage because they're high strength. And then they have a very, very low ranged fire breath. Right? And this is a narrow beam. Okay? So this isn't just like a puh at a single person. This is a 6 in front of them. So this is actually kind of interesting, and it's sometimes used in melee. It only has 4 ammunition though, so not a whole lot, but very interesting. And it actually hits pretty hard because half of the strength is added, and it's armor piercing. All right, okay. I don't think it needs all of those things. Probably take the armor piercing off of it. Like. Anyways, so this is cool. This red effect that is dropped immediately, that is a buff to someone has like the staff or whatever. There's a staff. Is it this? Yeah, Staff of Gaia. Yeah, Primal Power. So this is just +4 strength to all animals, right? Friendly animals. So only your units, not enemy units. Which just gives +4 strength to all of his animal units, which are the majority of his units, including these fire dragons count as animals. But interestingly, the Dragon Guard do not count as animals. They are too, I guess, too high up the food chain, too intelligent, right, to count as animals. But everything else pretty much counts as animals, except for the wisps. Right, all the rest of these, like the raiders, the Kangobs, all the shamans, etc. The Dragon Guard and the fucking wisps are the only thing that don't count as animals. It's pretty cool. And over here we have the forces of Old Man, down to just a few tyrant lizards now, not very many. A couple of Knights of Avalon holding the center. We've got a big long line of ogres, which, you know, they hit hard. They don't have great stats, but they've got a lot of health. They have base protection. We've got a big line of foresters who are very killy, but very squishy. We've got the row of displacer beasts, which are cool. They teleport, glamored, etc., etc. And then we've got his crones and his adepts of the Silver Order. Gonna be doing what they can. So let's hop back and watch this battle. So they're going to communion up on the right side. Divine Blessing comes out for both sides. The Blackhawks come down on the Ogres. And it's basically just a mad dash from the side of Kangobia. I'm going to slow down to half speed. So the Draken Childs, or the Draken Guards, and these Kangobian Fire Dragons. Ooh, we can watch this. Right. They just kind of come in and just start spewing. And actually, interestingly enough, like, these guys, these Drakengard, aren't fire resistant enough to be immune to this Drake Fire. But they have high enough protection that they're gonna mitigate a fair amount of it, even though it is armor piercing, right? But them getting in front of the Fire Drakens can be actually, like, a little dangerous. But we can see... It's just this kind of like line of fire, which is very neat. Very, very neat. A natural storm has come out, right? Which is cool. That's gonna... I don't know if that actually affects the overall effectiveness of something like the Drake Fire, but it will affect the Kangob Crazies and etc. We can see back here the Displacer Beasts are in the background. But there's not enough of them, and Kangobia has been wise enough to have units in the back, right? Very interesting that this illusion is just kind of like jaunted on back here. Wow. Okay. We've got Thunderbolts and Lightning Bolts coming out. That fire is dealing quite a bit of damage to the front lines of Man, and now that there are Kangobia soldiers, it's probably going to deal quite a bit of damage to them if there's much left, but I don't think there's much left. We've got a lot of fire spells coming out. Those are going to be decreased in effectiveness by Natural Storm, but we do have a Howl up. It doesn't seem to have gotten into the back line of Old Man yet. A whole shit ton of fire spells just coming out. Whole bunch. Doing okay. And you can already see, right, the front line of Old Man is basically overwhelmed. There wasn't a lot to begin with. Now they're going up against this line of Foresters, which Foresters... these guys are all body etherealed now, I think. Not all of them. A lot of them. No? What is that? They glamored? What happened here? I don't know what's happening here. We've got a relief up from Kangobia, and it doesn't matter. Old Man's force is just too small. This was absolutely a numbers game. I think if Old Man had another 100 infantry units, perhaps, I think Kangobia probably still would have won. They have a lot more mages, I think. But it was just, they got overwhelmed so quickly because of the lack of infantry. And cool. All right, that's going to be the end of this battle. But before we pop out of this battle, we want to see one little thing. Can you see it? It's that. It's that right there. So Kangobia has already and is casting Aerofend in battles. Probably off of one of his shamans back here. So this is his Howlcaster, the Dragon Speakers. Aerofend is not high, so he can cast it off of any of these air mages. So unfortunate. That means that our Aerofend, which we just got, just equalizes things. Like, it doesn't actually, like, it doesn't give us a trump card, right? It doesn't mean, oh, we can flaming arrows and now we'll have arrow fend and he won't have arrow fend and surprise, he'll take a whole bunch of... No. Unfortunately, we've just equalized it to where now both of our troops can not get shot. Fuck. That's unfortunate. But it is what it is. We knew going into this that there was a very good chance. Our research has been terrible the vast majority of the game. We knew going into this that there was a very good chance that Kangobia was going to be far and away above us in research and just be a general stronger nation. And we're probably gonna see the effects of that in the long term, but we'll see how it goes. So, good battle from Kangobia, good try from Old Man. Old Man lost 171 units. It did a fair chunk of damage to Kangobia, by the way, right? Like, this is why I say if he had 100 more, infantry, this might have been a different fight. Might have given his Adepts of the Silver Order and his Crones time to actually do more. But he just didn't have enough time. And I still think even then, up against 28 shamans, it just wouldn't have mattered, right? You can see these Kangobian Fire Drakes did a lot of fucking work with that. But I actually do think if you total up all the damage here, right, all the kills, these Kangobian Fire Drakes, I think, are actually responsible for killing a fair number of Kangob soldiers. Once those Kangob soldiers got in front of the Fire Drakes, just 1 or 2 gouts killed probably a fair chunk of soldiers. Because, I mean, this does not equal 155. So that's something to keep in mind, right? That is an issue. That's a problem for Kangobia. So they've got, and you factor in like the explodey boys. That's another type of scenario, right? Like they come on the edges, so depending on where the battle's happening, they might run into the enemy and explode on them, but you might also have units there. So it's a very interesting situation. Anyways, that is that battle. We attacked in Pack Woods. And this is the throne with Ishtar on it. So we've got Light of the Northern Stars come up. We meditation, and we do not get our second cast off, which is unfortunate. But meditation means that we have our Bless, so we have Regeneration, we have Temper Flesh, and we have increased attack skill. The increased attack skill is actually somewhat important because... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I was going to say, I thought our length was slightly longer than them, but it's not. So it's not important right now. What is important is that we have way more shock resistance. So these guys, even in a exploding die roll, these guys should not in any way be able to stun us. So we're going to start killing things. And as we get the opportunity... Right, we've seen this before. It takes a little bit of time, but as we begin to actually vine shield everything around us, and we're actually going to see this as we soften Earth, right? You can see some of these guys get caught pretty early on, right? More people getting vine shield. As we get up, we're gonna be able to start casting. So Iron Skin goes off, great. Take a little bit of damage there. We get Iron Will off, okay. Which puts our magic resistance up to 27. Still just a little bit of chip damage. Strength of Gaia. I will say this, another reason why we're probably doing so well is this Ishtar is on freaking attack. So she's not using all of these freaking gems, and that's dumb. She could just be soul slaying me right now, just soul slay, just till the end of time, basically. So we get Strength of Gaia off, and we get Summon Earth Power, and I want to show this. We get that off at exactly the right moment, because we are actually fatiguing out, and now that we have Summon Earth Power up, our Reinvigoration is going to keep us from fatiguing. So we're at 96 right now. The course of the next few turns, we can see we're ticking down, right? And it looks that, like, you know, we're basically okay. Between the combination of Vine Shield and, interestingly enough, this Shield of the Soft Earth, casting Earth Soften, we're basically making it to where very few things get the chance to attack us in melee. And if I get hit, we have 20% regeneration. We reduce it by quite a large amount. We have pretty high freaking protection. It's not bad. Honestly, is not bad at all. There are some elementals out here, like this water elemental that would potentially kick my fucking ass. But they're on the outskirts right now, so. I wonder how, yeah, Earth Soften could work on the water elemental. Probably not well, but it could work. I'm not sure if the Shield of Soft Earth is the greatest one to be using. So one of our problems is we don't kill fast enough, right? Like, we're going to go to turn timer every time we do a big fight like this. And if we go to turn timer, then we're crap shooting things. So that's a problem. And the shield is part of that problem, right? What we would prefer to be able to do is we would prefer to be able to dual wield so we could kill more. Or, if we're not dual wielding, use a two-hander, like Flamberge or something like that. One of the big weapons that does like crazy AoE. There's actually I don't know if this is DE or Bozmod, there's this sword that I really want to try out. I just haven't felt like I've gotten. Okay, so we've routed. So we're turned and we're trying to kill everything. Again, the same things are in effect though. They have a very difficult time trying to kill us still, even with the decreased stats, right? But it is what it is. But yeah, there's the sword that has like, it's like a giant sword or something like that, and it has cleave. And it's very early on. Again, I don't know if it's DE or if it's Boz, but I want to try it out. I want to like see how it goes. All right, so here's the problem. They've routed, great, fantastic. We're way closer to the edge of the map than they are. But, interestingly enough, all the big scary things, I say all the big scary things, most of the big scary things, Ishtar and the Apkallu are gone. The only really big scary thing that still remains is the Hill Giant, right? Who, actually, I don't think is that big or scary. I mean, he's big, obviously, but I don't think he's that scary, because I think his magic resistance is going to mean that he gets Vine Shielded or, yeah, generally. But who knows, he might club us to death. Anyways, so Ishtar and the Apkallu fly off, so they die instantly. So very cool. We retreat successfully to Zaburia, and we'll see how that goes. We get hit in Gifa by a little raiding party again, right? He's just keeping the pressure on me. This costs him basically nothing. Meditation, Iron Skin, Timber Armor, Personal Regeneration, Prayer of Earth. So that we have 5 Reinvigoration versus 4 Encumbrance. So we should be fatigue neutral. Come in and pop, 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 pop. Does not take very long. Yeah. But I will say this about the forces of Kengub. They do not have very great morale. Especially, you know, these obviously are weak ones, right? 8 morale here, more morale on the younglings, right? The soldiers have more, the Draken Guard have more, obviously, right? The raiders have more, but they still have like a crazy amount. It's not super mega awesome, so that's something to keep in mind. All right, so we're successful in Grifa. A couple of unexpected events. We have temperature dropped dramatically in Pastinia, and blizzards have devastated the land. Unseasonal storms rage across the entire province, and many have died from starvation. I believe this is Pangopia fucking with me. Well, I say that. I think this is a... I don't think this is a random event. I think this is a spell. I think this is the precursor to Murderous Winter. And I think it might be... I mean, I don't know. But I think it might be from either... Man. I think it might be from Erythia or Niflheim. You know? Working in concert with King Gobia. And I think, obviously, right, the setup there is to hit me with Murderous Winter now, right? So part of what we're going to do this turn is we're going to talk about what can we do in response to that. And we've got some options, but I'm not sure how great those options are going to be, okay? So we'll talk about it. We've got Warring Tribes. This is the unrest events happening from the Cosmic Egg hatching, okay? This is in Kiban. A band of Atlanteans raiding the coast in Zaburia. Wait, Zaburia? Yep. And then in Dardania, we lost some defense, unfortunate. So worldwide event has occurred. The Necromancer is defeated. Cool. Worldwide event has occurred. The Throne of Life brings youth to all the living. Cool. Battle in Siberia as those Atlanteans come out of the water and attack us. Unfortunate, because we do not have a great PD here. Atlantean raiders are actually kind of annoying, so Shamblers fuck you up. Don't get any lucky shots to just send them routing. Which means we have been stifled in Zaburia. Very annoying. We find a scout in... a scout of Yis. And then our scout gets discovered in Anramark. And then we have a new famous hero. Sweet. Okay, sweet. Oh, right. It's I don't know why. It's this guy over here. And he got fast casting. So that's really interesting. Fast casting is kind of cool. So here's an annoying thing. We just really damaged Packwoods, but we've kind of got captured. We escaped into Zaburia, and then Zaburia got hit with raiders, and now we are stuck in there. So Wuya 11's going to break siege in Zaburia, and hopefully we are going to be able to go next turn, take our throne without any issues. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We're going to talk about movements and plans and things like that, and then we're going to talk about this whole, like, Murderous Winter thing. Okay? So, yeah, he's 1, 2 away. Erythia is... Erythia is 1, 2, 3 away. But I think they're both in range to be doing things like Murderous Winter. And of course, it might just be a random event, but I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen that random event. The temperature dropping, that specifically, I believe, is, I don't think it's Conjuration, but I don't remember what it is, so we're gonna go look. No, it is Wolven Winter. So Woven Winter, I believe is what it is. And then you follow it up by hitting someone with Murdering Winter. So you drop the temperature, and then you hit them with Murdering Winter. Murdering Winter does more damage the colder it is. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about movements. So we are moving some of our Jade Sorceresses, our 2 water Jade Sorceresses, into Chaco. We are too far south to reach the upper portions of our empire with Voice of Apsu, so we're going to move into Chaco to be able to try to do that. We should be able to get most of it. Then we'll have to probably move 1 up to Ablok and maybe 1 up to Smacia to get the final bits. Obviously, we'll eventually have to send someone over towards this area, if we still hold it in a couple turns, to do stuff there. Okay? We are continuing to send Sorceress 7 over towards Pastinia in order to assist with nature and fire buffs, potentially. More Crystal Sorceresses head towards Pastinia as well. So we've got Crystal Sorceress 8 and 7 heading that way. So Kangobia has defeated the main portion of Old Man's army. Which means Old Man does not have much left in the tank. Fortunately, I've been in communication with Old Man. Fortunately, Kangobia did not break the walls of Old Man this turn. We are going to attack Old Man. And this isn't really a feint or anything like that, but this is I do not anticipate this attack winning, necessarily. Like, actually besting Kangobia. But we're going to attack at Old Man with Mong 3 and Mong 4. And they're going to try to... They're both set in the same corner. They're going to try to help each other break through, right? Because they are size 3, so they can sit in the same square. They're going to try to help each other break through the overall rush of enemies. We'll see how it goes. And then we're actually sending out Wuya 15 with a kit of gear. And you can see very specifically Wuya 15 is a Foul Vapors Wuya. So, getting Enchantment 6 got us Arrowfend. And it got us a bunch of other things as well. But it got us Arrowfend, which is what we were going for. But it also gets us Foul Vapors, which is something that we want to... It gets us a bunch of other things. It gets Relief, etc. But Foul Vapors is kind of that other thing that we were really looking for, to be able to mix into things and potentially catch Kangobia unaware. We'll see. So we're doing that. There is a slight chance... So what I'm trying to do is I'm sending Wuya 15 out there without the gems, because I don't want him to see us with gems, right? If he attacks here in Griffa, I don't want him to see a Wuya with water, nature, and gems, right? Because I don't want him to be like, oh, he's going to cast, and I also don't want to put gems and put the scripting in there and be like, oh, he hits me with the large enough raiding party for me to cast Foul Vapors. And then he's like, oh, he's going to cast Foul Vapors. Right? We're trying to make this as much as a surprise as we can. And let me double check once more, but Wuya 15 cannot move. Can move there. He can move there. He's not gonna move there. I remember this now that I'm thinking about it. He's not gonna move there because I don't think Kangobia is gonna stay here. Right? The way Boz has played has constantly been wearing people down. Non-committal attacks, right? Poke here, prod here. Now that he has wiped out Old Man's army, I don't think he's gonna just sit here and try to siege Old Man down. I think he is going to pull back. He has fortresses right here. He's gonna pull back, reconsolidate army, and he's gonna leave little forces on Old Man's fort to prevent Old Man from actually doing anything. So I don't want to send that Wuya again. I want to fight a big force. I don't think we're gonna get this. We're gonna try, but I don't think we're gonna get the big fight where we get to ooh, foul vapors catch him. We're gonna try though. We'll see. Anyways, what else are we doing? We're gonna wrap up everything else before we start talking specifically about Pastinia and the potential of Murderous Winter. Recruiting more Wuyas, more Katsina warriors. We're doing some forging, Boots of the Messenger, specifically more another set of gear, right? But also specifically, we are forging Horn of Valor, and we are forging Helmet of Heroes. This is to give our leaders up here to swap out their gear and give them +4 to their inspiration, right? Which means that all of their units will have +6 morale. And we were talking about this earlier, right? Like, Kangobia has not great morale. We add in, like, another 4 morale on these Katsina warriors. They're sitting at 23 morale. They get blessed. They're at 24 morale. We can get a lot out of that type of stuff. So, making sure that everyone here has good morale boosts is, I think, important. These guys only have a +1. I don't really what? Why do these guys only have a +1? Formation modifier? Oh, they're in a spare slime. Why are they in a spare slime? That's so strange. What? Don't do that. Anyways, moving on. We are also making some winged shoes, and that's actually probably gonna swap around. We'll talk about that here in a second. Helmet of Heroes, Horn of Valor. We're going to do that this turn and next turn to make sure that we get as much morale boosting on our 2 main leaders as we can. And I think that's it for the really crazy stuff. We are building another wooden fort here in Umador and building a lab here in Umador. And then other than that, it's just recruitment of... Because of those 2 things, we don't have a lot of money, but we're recruiting more Crystal Sorceresses, more Adepts of the Silver Order, etc. Okay, let's talk about options for Pastinia and whether or not we're going to get hit with Murdering Winter. So, we are actually only cold 1 right now. If he were to Murdering Winter us, it would be effective, but not super effective. It could potentially kill a bunch of our Chaco Star Priests, though. This is actually a really bad problem for us. Our elite warriors, all of our archers, most of these heavy infantry. The ant warriors would probably be fine, except for in like severe, like cold 3. But very specifically, all of our Chacoan Star Priests are going to be vulnerable to this. So we can't just let it happen. We have potentially two or three options. Oh, by the way, why am I doing this the hard way? I figured out I say I figured it out. I'm sure 100 other people are already aware of this. But, so the lag problem in this giant-ass game only happens when you are left-clicking to select a unit to move that unit. If you right-click, you can immediately go into this screen, right, where you can put gear on them or gems on them. If you hover over something and you hit space, it will automatically pull up the command menu. So if you're doing anything but moving, you actually can avoid the lag. So we are checking our god, Yuna, and what we're checking for specifically, I don't know if we have it yet. So, Breath of the Desert, right? We can curse a province to have a dramatic rise in temperature. Now, this is going to have an adverse effect on the province, right? Just like Woven Winter does, it's going to lose some population. This isn't just oh, hey, just raise the temperature, easy peasy, right? So if we do this to ourselves, we are hurting ourselves. But what it will also do is it will, like we said, drastically raise the temperature and potentially keep us from getting massacred with Woven Winter. We also have the option of doing something like Dome of Flaming Death. It's not going to do anything, it's not going to stop the spell, right? But it could kill the shit out of someone. I don't like this option. I'm never really a fan of Dome of Flaming Death, because it always feels like, look, most of the time you're gonna take that trade. Most of the time you've got, a mage that you're like, yeah, whatever. You're not normally using your only this mage can cast Murderous Winter, right? I just don't feel like Dome of Flaming Death is really the route to go. No, not that one. Yeah, no, so I think out of our god, really what we're looking for is Breath of the Desert, okay? There are other potential options, though. If we go to Silver 1, our Astral 3... we could do... Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so that kind of cinches it then. I was looking for Dome of Arcane Warding. So Dome of Arcane Warding has a 50% chance of stopping a spell that tries to pass through it, right? Also blocks friendly spells. 50% chance isn't great, but, it's better than nothing. So there's that. Then there's also, since we can't do that, so we're not going to worry about it. Ugh, I clicked. But there's also there should be a nature version as well. I don't know if we have it yet, though. We have Forest Stone, yeah. So this is a 30% chance. Lasts forever, but a fire spell will destroy it. So again, not great, but a chance is better than nothing. What options do we want to take? Can we forge a crystal coin? We cannot. So we can't, part of the reason we can't forge a booster to try to get past this, unfortunately. Robe of the Sun. Oh, that's cool. A flashy item. So we do need to start doing that. Our Earth Gems are just so sought after right now. I should probably do some trading. Probably like some Astral Pearls for Earth Gems or something like that. So thinking about what our options are, it looks like if we want to try to do the best that we can now... I clicked. Fuck me. I do actually think that going ahead... Not an Earth option, is there? I think so. I don't think Earth has anything like that. Nope. I think the best option we have right now is Breath of the Desert on Pastinia. Because if we increase the heat here, and they cast. So here's the thing. It's a crapshoot. Who knows, right? They might be waiting. They might hit us with another Woven Winter to try to counteract or to try to get us to Cold 3 before they do a Murderous Winter. But they might just hit us with a Murderous Winter right now. And if they do, who goes first is very much a crapshoot. So they could Murderous Winter us, and then we fuck ourselves up with a Breath of the Desert. But, the hope would be that we Breath of the Desert ourselves, and then if we're going to get Murderous Wintered, we get Murderous Wintered, and it's very, very whatever at that point. I'm also considering trying to put up a Forest Dome, but there's honestly the scenario there is we could actually Forest Dome, then block our own spell with the 30%, and then their spell gets through on the 30%. So it's such an asshole-ish like little way of things happening. But yeah, we'll see. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm hoping that this is actually not what's going on. But realistically, again, I don't think I've ever seen a message like this when it's not a spell like Woven Winter, right? But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. That, I think, is probably going to be the end of the turn, though. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.